नमस्कार, मैं अशोक व्यास। कार्यक्रम वॉइस कम्युनिटी में आपका स्वागत है। आज के कार्यक्रम में आप देखेंगे हमारी एक खास रिपोर्ट। इंडिया अमेरिका चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स द्वारा आयोजित हुआ एक संगोष्ठी का कार्यक्रम, जिसमें बातचीत की गई किस तरह से प्राप्त कर सकता है भारत अपनी आर्थिक क्षमताओं की उपलब्धियों को। आप देखेंगे एक रिपोर्ट लॉन्ग आइलैंड से, जिसमें बलिदान दिवस मनाया गया कश्मीर ओवरसीज एसोसिएशन द्वारा। तो ये सब करेगा आपकी प्रतीक्षा इस छोटे से ब्रेक के बाद। बने रहें हमारे साथ। आप देख रहे हैं विजन ऑफ एशिया वॉइस कम्युनिटी कार्यक्रम ITV गोल्ड पर। आज के कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करते हैं एक खास रिपोर्ट से, जिसमें बात होगी किस तरह से भारत अपनी आर्थिक क्षमताओं को प्राप्त कर सकता है। इस बारे में एक राउंड टेबल सेशन का आयोजन किया गया इंडिया अमेरिका चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स के द्वारा, जिसमें थॉट लीडर और ग्लोबल बिजनेस लीडर GK मोदी के साथ संबोधित करने वालों में कौंसल जनरल रणधीर जायसवाल भी थे। इस कार्यक्रम में ITV गोल्ड और पारिक वर्ल्ड वाइड मीडिया के चेयरमैन पद्मश्री डॉक्टर सुधीर पारिक भी उपस्थित थे।
So today's program is being organized by Global Citizen Forum. I think this word global citizen is the need of the hour. So we all are citizen of a country we belong, like you could be American citizen, I could be a Singapore citizen, some Indian citizen. But I think the time has come that we first think to become a global citizen, so that what is good for the world is good for the countries, rather than what is good for the countries is good for the world. And I think in America, this needs to be done. And my appeal to all the Indian community here, because they are global citizens, because they have two citizenship. One in India, they are overseas citizen of India, and also they are citizens of America. So I think Indian community can start this this revolution to become global citizens, so that American citizens also think to become global citizens. Thank you.
Namaste. I am delighted to be here to attend this talk by Dr. BK Modi. He's to talk about India and how is India going to engage the world for itself and for betterment of humanity at large. So we look forward to his guidance, what he has to say to the Indian American community and to our American audience at large. So we are delighted. We have lots to offer. India has lots to share and lots also to learn from the international community. So we all look forward, and thank you for your very gracious invitation.
I'm Dr. Sudhir Parekh, one of the founding member of the Global Citizen Forum, and the whole idea behind is to boost investment, foreign investment into the India, and under the leadership of BK Modi. And we are doing so many other seminars and webinars to help the businessmen and entrepreneurs how to connect to the Indian government, how to take advantage of the Indian rules and regulations of the business. And India is getting very friendly for the business people. So BK, really, I must congratulate you for this initiative.
As president of the chamber, I'm delighted to host this evening. I've always felt that India's position was to be a global economic power, and it's time. Time has come for that, and we are going to make it happen. I'm very delighted that Dr. Modi's Global Citizens Forum is going to lead the initiative, and I am very delighted for the guidance by Counsel General Randeer Jaiswal. And we are also very delighted to have you all here, because there is there is no free drinks or
There are free drinks here.
no free drinks from here. This is what you think it is, but eventually we need to get into your pocket to make your pocket bigger and make India a greater country.
We are very delighted to, just remember the word of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. That last line, what he has added, Sabka Prayas, that's what we are doing around the world. We are trying to unite the Indian diaspora and the intellectuals, investors, and professionals. We are trying to know the globe and bring back all Indian force to India to rebuild and make Bharat developed nation at 100. And that is the power of democracy. Our Indians, wherever they are going, they are contributing to those countries as a, expert and intellectuals and investors as well as, and traders also. And now the time has come, India is leading, and this is what Dr. B.K. Modi is here, and our Honorable Consul General, Mr. Randhir Jaiswal, he is here, and Mr. Sudhir Parekh. I'm really glad to be here. I'm going to stay here 25 days and going to unite all the Indian diaspora for the great cause to rebuild India. Thank you so much.
Myself, Deepak Bansal. I'm speaking from New York. Today we are here in the honor of Mr. Dr. B.K. Modi, who is here for the global forum and to unite our all Indians to invest in India to make our country great. So that's what we are here. So everybody has to get together and back up our country to make it great nation.
आप देख रहे हैं विजन ऑफ एशिया वॉइस ऑफ कम्युनिटी कार्यक्रम जो आप तक आता है हर सोम, मंगल, बुध और हाँ गुरुवार को शाम 8 बजे। विजन ऑफ एशिया का साप्ताहिक अंक हम आपके लिए लेकर आते हैं प्रेम से हर रविवार को सुबह 11 बजे। हमारा साथ देने के लिए आपका आभार। जारी रहेगा कार्यक्रम इस छोटे से ब्रेक के बाद, बने रहें हमारे साथ। आप देख रहे हैं विजन ऑफ एशिया वॉइस ऑफ कम्युनिटी कार्यक्रम। अब आपको लिए चलते हैं लॉन्ग आइलैंड, जहां कश्मीर ओवरसीज एसोसिएशन द्वारा पिछले शुक्रवार को बलिदान दिवस का आयोजन किया गया। इस अवसर पर मुख्य वक्ता के रूप में संबोधित करने के लिए आए भारत से एक लेखक, इतिहासकार और कश्मीरी मुद्दे पर अलख जगाने वाले सुशील पंडित। इस अवसर पर कश्मीर ओवरसीज एसोसिएशन की अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर अर्चना काचरू, कम्युनिटी लीडर मोहन वांचू, विभूति झा और अन्य लोगों ने भी संबोधित किया। सुशील पंडित के संबोधन के बाद एक प्रश्नोत्तरी का भी आयोजन रहा, जिसमें डॉक्टर राकेश शर्मा ने भी महत्वपूर्ण प्रश्न उठाया। प्रस्तुत है इस कार्यक्रम पर हमारी ये खास रिपोर्ट।
The word Usha stands for I am the life of life and the death of death. I am the life of life and the death of death. We've done too much of this business of saying we are the light. Too much of that business. We haven't also recognized that dawn in the morning represents the death of death. That when you see darkness, you have an obligation like dawn to step forth and destroy it. And to the degree Sushilji is taking that step forth, he's unique. We have to learn from that. In our own small worlds, we have to do that.
We commemorate this Balidan Divas every year, and this is the 33rd year. What happened on this day in 1989 was the first killing of the most prominent Kashmiri Hindu in the valley. So we picked this up as a symbolic day for all the martyrs who lost their lives. They were all unarmed, non-combatants, innocent. Just as 19th of January is a symbolic day for our expulsion, our mass expulsion from Kashmir, by no means that was the only day when we left. Our exodus, our expulsion began much earlier. And it continued through the 90s. It never stopped. Sometimes it got reduced to a trickle, sometimes it was in large numbers. As we talk, it is still happening.
Mr. Sushil Pandit is right behind me, and this is one of the proudest days. You know, there are few people that I always wanted to meet in my life. Mr. Pandit is one of them. And I see Mr. Ashok Vyas clapping in the background. And I'm being very serious that there are few individuals who leave impression on you. And Sushilji is one of those Indians. And I'm proud that I belong to the same country that he comes from.
My name is Archana Kakru, and I am the president of Kashmiri Overseas Association. We have gathered here today in Long Island to commemorate the 33rd year of our Martyrs' Day, Kashmiri Hindu Martyrs' Day, and we also call it Balidan Divas. The significance of this day is that in 1989, September 14th, Mr. Tiklal Taplu, who was one of the activists of Kashmir, who was a BJP activist, was murdered in his own house. And that started the spree of killings of Kashmiri Hindus. And to this date, we have about 1,500 Kashmiri Hindus killed as a result of jihad. So this day is not only to commemorate these martyrs, but also to ask for justice, because until now, not even one killer has been apprehended. Although we know the names, we know who those people are, and they have publicly admitted to killing Kashmiri Pandits and other Kashmiri Hindus. But the judicial process has not even started in these cases. We also want to thank the families of these martyrs who have carried the burden of this pain and suffering for the last 33 years. We are behind them, and we will continue to raise our voices and make sure that the government and the people who are associated with the judiciary in India hear us and do make these cases, open these cases up again, and get justice to not only the families, but also the entire Kashmiri Hindu population. Thank you.
My name is Arun Moza. I am here part of the Kashmiri Overseas Association, marking a significant day in our history, the Balidan Divas. This is a significant turn of events for Kashmir when our innocent Kashmiri Hindus got butchered, and it actually started with Sri Taplu. The important part for us is that we want to remember this day in the history, and we do not want any of our generations or any of the citizens of India to forget this day. It's one of the dark chapters for us and for the country, that even being so many killings and being a refugee in our countries, we have not been delivered justice by the government of India or judiciary of India. One of the main reasons we want to observe this day every year, that such heinous acts do not go unpunished, and we are hoping that such heinous acts do not happen again on this planet.
हम ये गुजारिश करते हैं ITV देखने वाले श्रोता दर्शकों को, the viewers of ITV which is all over, that they should make sure they continue to talk about this, share this story with their friends, their family, their children, grandchildren. Otherwise, at some point, we'll forget about it, and the people who are suffering back home will never be taken care of. So आज जो ये बलिदान दिवस है, उसका महत्व ये है कि इस झंडे को लेके हम आगे बढ़ते रहें और जब तक कि कश्मीर जिनका है उनको ना मिल जाए और
There's a human cry all over the world. But who do we blame? Our own system, our own successive governments do not want to acknowledge it. The lack of acknowledgement, let me tell you, since 1990 we've had 9 prime ministers. We have had more than a dozen home ministers. I'm talking about the central government. Not one, not even one as an exception has visited our refugee camps. I've been saying this for a long time. So one gentleman once perked up and said, no, but Mr. Manmohan Singh came to Jagti once, and I had to remind him that Mr. Manmohan Singh came to Jagti to cut a ribbon, inaugurate a refugee camp. Can you imagine the shame? You make a ceremony of inaugurating a refugee camp.
So Ashok ji, we have gathered here today to commemorate Balidan Divas, which is when the first martyr, Pandit Tikalal Taplu ji, was martyred, and then started the process of genocide throughout Kashmir. This process has been continuing in many ways over the years, and you must have heard recently in the last few months, it has picked up speed again. What is troubling is that it is not only a problem of Kashmir now, it has spread like wildfire throughout India. You must have seen so many cases in Rajasthan where people were butchered, in the most gruesome style. This wildfire has already spread in Kerala for the last so many, years, and it has also spread in West Bengal. And there's no state in India which is untouched with this, problem. So this is a remembrance and a commemoration of the fact that if we do not do something about it, this fire is going to continue and engulf the whole country. Absolutely. This is not a problem of Kashmir alone, although that's where it started, but it's the fire has been spread. And it's a reminder to everybody today that this is a thing that they have to wake up and recognize and accept that this is a problem, and that turning the other way is not going to solve the problem. The problem is still, there, and we just have to wake up to the problem and accept it, and then take a path to basically, make sure that these types of targeted killings and a threat to security is not allowed, going forward.
Unity is not something like a suit, jacket, shirt, sari, salwar, that you wear it and voila, unity came about. It doesn't happen like that. Unity is brought about by a cause. Just as in New York, the unity came behind the symbol swastika. If this particular ugly event in Kashmir doesn't unite us, what will?
This is a very important day for every single Indian, whether you are in America or you are in India. This is Balidan Divas. This is the day in which the Kashmiri Pandits gave their life under torture, suffering. Remember the slogan? Leave, convert or die. They left with honor and pride. This is the moment for us to come together. As you would know, we are still under attack. Kashmiri Pandits have become homeless in their own home. इससे बड़ा बलिदान और क्या हो सकता है? To protect their own identity, their own being as they are. My suggestion to everybody is that when we observe these occasions, we have to take a resolve. This will never happen again. And one of my suggestions to Government of India, to everybody is that Article 370 and Kashmir ki halat badli hai wahan pe. We have to also demand reciprocity from the communities that live in Kashmir, that unless and until they condemn, apologize, and abrogate the entire concept of leave, convert or die, there will be no confidence in returning to that place, because the evil will continue to do what they have done. It is a moment for us to unite, that this will never happen again. We can't be made homeless in our own homes. So with this message, I want to say, let's recognize, pay tribute to those people who gave up their lives to protect their identity and essential being. Thank you.
I have the pleasure of the presence of Mohan Vanchuji, and Kashmir Overseas Association has organized an event with the main speaker Sushil Panditji observing Balidan Divas. When we gather together, we reflect, Mohanji, on what has happened, but at the same time we try to see where are we heading. From that point of view, what do you foresee Balidan Divas, how it also may act as a torch of light to guide how to collectively move forward?
Sure. So Ashokji, we have gathered here today to commemorate Balidan Divas, which is when the first martyr, Pandit Tikalal Tapluji, was martyred, and then started the process of genocide throughout Kashmir. This process has been continuing in many ways over the years, and you must have heard recently in the last few months, it has picked up speed again. What is troubling is that it is not only a problem of Kashmir now, it has spread like wildfire throughout India. You must have seen so many cases in Rajasthan where people were butchered, in the most gruesome style. This wildfire has already spread in Kerala for the last so many, years, and it has also spread in West Bengal. And there's no state in India which is untouched with this, problem. So this is a remembrance and a commemoration of the fact that if we do not do something about it, this fire is going to continue and engulf the whole country. Absolutely. This is not a problem of Kashmir alone, although that's where it started, but it's the fire has been spread. And it's a reminder to everybody today that this is a thing that they have to wake up and recognize and accept that this is a problem, and that turning the other way is not going to solve the problem. The problem is still, there. And we just have to wake up to the problem and accept it, and then take a path to basically, make sure that these types of targeted killings and a threat to security is not allowed, going forward.
Thank you, Mohanji.
Thank you very much, Ashwin.
और अब आज का विजन ऑफ एशिया वॉइस ऑफ कम्युनिटी कार्यक्रम समाप्त करने से पहले आपके साथ याद करने वाली बात वही है, जी हाँ, फेसबुक पर ITV गोल्ड के मित्र बने और सब्सक्राइब करें ITV गोल्ड के यूट्यूब चैनल को, लिखें events@itvgold.com पर। अपना ख्याल रखें। हमारा साथ देने के लिए फिर एक बार आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। अशोक व्यास को अनुमति दें। नमस्कार।